How's it going, everybody? We're gonna do the cutting down on these bosses here on this front cover to get the accessory kit able to mount. According to Powered by the Hour, we need to remove this boss here. It needs to be flush, or at least 1/8 of an inch it can stick out. And this entire boss here with these strengthening ribs. No damage will come to the cover, nothing's going to break or anything. This is just what's needed for clearance for the alternator. So this will probably be a time lapse. Like I said, I'm new to this, so I'm trying to learn. I'm going to put on my gloves and safety equipment and then start cutting away at this. I'm using a cutoff wheel. You can use a sawzall or like a little buzz saw that's air powered. Whatever your choice. Just be smart, safe, and plan on cutting. You know, measure twice, cut once. That old saying. Just don't want to cause any more harm to this cover than we need to. Otherwise, you're gonna have to replace it, and they're kind of pricey. All right. Another tip, obviously this is a brand new engine, so everything comes blocked off. Any coolant passages, intake ports. Exhaust ports is okay, you know, nothing's gonna land in there from this angle. Definitely coolant passages, intake ports, valve covers are on, coils are covered, so no metal shavings get down inside. So this is kind of a trim to fit type deal. So as you can see, it's not, it's not prettiest, it's not finished yet, but This boss here is pretty much flush here. This is shaved down. There's barely any kind of lip here. Those are down. This is still, you know, not touched, still solid. This is the tensioner mount, what I talked about. And that's all they require. Different year motors, different generations. Some of the front covers differ. So there might be on a truck F-150. I know some of these, the reinforcements look a little different. But it's all, you're just clearancing for the alternator. So next step will be unpackage the kit from Power by the Hour and start assembling it and see what kind of clearance we have. If we need to adjust more, grind more, or if we're good, disassemble, clean it up. And like I said in the previous video, this engine's getting painted, so it's all, you know, just smooth it out, make it look good, and move on. So that's there. I'm gonna go unpackage this thing from Power by the Hour, and we'll see what we got. So this is the kit. I'm doing this one-handed. And here I believe there's a pulley. That's probably a tensioner. This is, we got another belt tensioner for the gates. That's the AC mount. That is the power steering, I think. Yep. If I can focus here. Not going to focus. Okay. Power steering pump bracket. And the alternator kit, which when you're doing a Coyote, you need a clutchless alternator pulley. Otherwise, your alternator won't be doing anything besides spinning. It won't be charging. So, it comes with 2 belts. And it instructs you that all the instructions are online. So I've already previously looked at the instructions, kind of got a good idea. There are other companies that sell front runner kits. Vintage Air is one that I've used before. I think Ford might have their own, but I like Power by the Hour stuff. Very easy to deal with and very easy people to talk to. A lot of help. Alright, so let's get this unpackaged. Let me look up the specs again, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we got, there's 3 different standoffs that they have. One is longer. One is longer and it goes down here. You have to remove the factory bolts from the cover. So the one long one, 2 of the same length go here. Next step, this is the bracket that comes with the kit. This gets bolted to the alternator, and then essentially something like that. So let's get it mounted to the alternator. I need to check out the instructions. Should have printed out the instructions, but so as for Power by the Hour's instructions, I have this supplied tensioner installed facing the correct way, and already by looking at it, I can see that where this tensioner is going to ride, or where the belt's going to ride. You know, that's why they had you remove this material, and I can already tell this is going to be good enough, but it's put the alternator on to triple check. This is the Mustang alternator with the updated clutchless pulley, powered by the hour cells in this way. Or you can get just the pulley and install the pulley onto the existing alternator if you want to do it that way. So I have these standoffs already on. We're going to take this, essentially, and it slides right on. You got the 3 threads sticking out from the standoffs. Looking at it, there is a clearance issue. Okay, so I'm gonna thread one nut on here just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Take my marker where I can see that it's interfering. So I'll pull this off and I'll show you what I found. Okay, so the alternator itself was sitting on this here. Now, in Powered by the Hours instructions, they said additional trimming might be needed. There might be certain things that interfere. So all I'm going to do is mark that, mark that right there, and all of this I'm just going to take in a quarter of an inch, maybe a little less. Back to grinding and removing some material. Tricky getting all the angles right. Perfect. You got to remember that there's going to be a belt riding around it, so you got to make sure there's enough room for all that. good. So, grab the lock nuts that go on here, and then I'll take the camera and show you the tight clearances we're dealing with. I'm just snugging these things up, not going full tight, but these are nylocks, so there's no lock washers or anything, which is nice. It's very tight in there, but when everything's snugged down, nothing's going to move. Whoever designed this did a very good job with the clearances. Alright. So, here's the bracket installed. So you got the clutchless pulley on there. I don't know if you can see. But it's very tight. But like I'm looking at right above my finger, it's pretty tight in there. Trying to get the camera to focus. And that's the clearance at the tensioner. So, but everything's looking good. Got the Excite hook up here, power here. This bracket looks really nice. I love the way they did that. It's got the logo on it. So there's 1/3 of it. Now the AC, the alternator, and this tensioner are all going to run on this inner belt. And this outer belt will be water pump, this idler pulley, another tensioner, and power steering. So 2 separate belts, 2 separate tensioners. It's nice because on the newer Mustangs and F-150s and the EcoBoosts, most AC belts are all stretchy belts, and my God, pain in the ass. I never liked them. So this is the alternator installed. No, not too bad. Sticks out a little bit, but it'll clear the AC lines and the ABS bracket and all that in the front of the motor. I will be next tackling the AC mount. I'll make a separate small video for that. And then the power steering, same deal for that. And then all 3 of those will be good. The accessory drive will be good. And then tear it all back down and get it ready for paint. We're doing an Eastwood ceramic gloss black paint. Since the car's going red, I might put a little bit of red flake in there, just so if the sun hits it right, it'll look, give it something extra, maybe. All right, thanks for watching. Hope this was instructional. New to make a video, so sorry if they're all scrambled. I'm gonna try to edit all this. Wish me luck. Thanks, guys.